video, you will learn how to stop seeking approval and validation from other people and how to become a more confident woman. I am Kimberly and you are watching True Stature. It's the place to be to create a life you love, fueled by your personal truth. Now, just to introduce you a little bit to what this channel is all about, you should know that in my past, I have been the queen of people pleasing. Codependency has been a major player in my life, and although I'm not proud of it, I'm okay with it because it has given me a great deal of understanding about what holds women back. After all, I should know. It's my hope today that I can help bring some truth to your world. So let's get right into it. As humans, we like to feel liked, right? Having people appreciate you and what you are doing really feels good. But what if that thing that just felt good to have, that approval, suddenly became a need, and you had to have that approval to feel whole and complete? Many people struggle with the need to get approval, so if you are one of them, you are not alone. But why do we seek approval? I'm going to remind you of something you may already know. Seeking approval from other people actually stems from a low self-esteem. This feeling of inferiority may come from either how you were raised or your work experience. Perhaps it's your education, or perhaps you don't like a certain aspect of your personality. Whatever the cause, if one lacks self-belief and is self-critical, it would seem only natural to seek validation and approval from other people. Comment below if you can relate to what I'm saying. Has there been a time in your life, or many instances in your life, when you have sought the approval of somebody else? Now, as I've been growing into a more confident woman over the last few years, I've been thinking I've been making great strides, and in reality, I have. But this last week, life taught me a very uncomfortable lesson that I was not very thrilled to learn about myself. You see, in spite of whatever confident ways I've been growing, I still seek the approval of certain people in my life. I won't go into all the gory details, but I will share the basics of the story because I think there's a very good lesson to be learned here. There were two instances when I found this out about myself again. The first one was when I shared a text message with my family that I was very excited to share with them. And the lack of response actually hurt my feelings, and I felt that I should have their support. But on a more honest appraisal, I had to admit that I was seeking their approval, and I had a need to be validated by them. But why? Because somehow them saying, "Great job, Kimberly," would mean that I was enough. This is not awesome to admit to because I get on these videos every week, and with all of my heart, I express the ability we have as women to be confident and bold and powerful, and I truly believe that. And yet, I was seeing a major flaw in my approach to life. This old pattern of behavior that was stemming all the way back from my childhood was rearing its ugly head again in my life story. And then something else happened that really annoyed the heck out of me. The other day when my husband came home, I found myself saying, "Look at what I accomplished today. Look at that," or "Look at this. Look at these things I did while you were gone." And I even felt small in the moment when I was saying it. And that is because I've learned enough to know and recognize that pattern for what it is, that I'm feeling like I'm not enough. I don't know about you, but being reminded of my weaknesses can be super annoying, especially if I thought I was way past that. As annoying as these lessons can be though, it's okay to have weaknesses. We all do. No matter what part of our growth journey we are on, there are still things that we all need to learn about ourselves to improve. So let's talk about what we can do to stop seeking validation and approval from other people. Now, as I was reminded of last week, correcting this behavior of mine will not be a quick fix. It's going to take action, and the same goes for you. We have patterns that we follow for years, and they don't just stop at the flip of a switch. But take heart, because you can overcome those patterns in time. It will require you to be proactive, and you will need to admit where your weaknesses are. But once you do that, you will be well on your way. And to keep the ball rolling, here are some tips to help you get out of the need for approval space once and for all, from a website called A Conscious Rethink. I chose my top favorite ones to share with you. The first thing you can do is begin to analyze where you think that need for approval is coming from. For example, last week I discovered that I needed the approval of my family because I remembered that I felt a little bit lost in the shuffle when I was a child. I needed to feel seen. If they saw me, if they approved of me, I was a valuable person. Knowing this, I can see why I reacted to not receiving responses from my text. It took me right back in time to when I was little and needed approval. As they say, knowing really is half the battle. When I begin to see myself going down that path of approval seeking and validation, I can catch myself because I'm familiar now what that looks like in my behaviors. Awareness really is the key here. The next thing that will help you with your need for approval is to learn to accept rejection and criticism for just what it is. If your boss doesn't like your contribution to a certain project, maybe instead of being defensive and taking the criticism as a personal attack, you could learn something. Is there a way you could change what you're doing to improve your efforts? Maybe you need to think a little more outside the box. It's okay to be wrong or to admit that we need to improve on certain things. The next step is to develop a growth mindset. You can free yourself from the need to seek approval if you know that your ultimate goal is to continually grow and improve. As you focus on a growth mindset, it won't matter so much what other people are thinking of you because you know that you're a work in progress and you're moving forward. Focus on the process of you and learn to acknowledge your efforts. Even when things don't go perfectly, you will see minor progressions every day as you put your heart into it. The last tip I want to share with you today is that you should just be yourself and be proud of that. Stand up for who you are. You have the right to be who you are, to feel what you feel, to believe what you believe, to think what you think. That is all part of your incredible value. As you begin to see your own value with all your glorious quirks, you will begin to need the approval of others less and less. So there you have it, simple steps you can take to get over that need for approval from other people. In the end, the only one who needs to approve of you is yourself. Before I leave you today, I'd like to share with you one more message that I'm hoping you will take to heart. It's okay to be a work in progress and a masterpiece simultaneously. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Thank you for supporting this video. It means the world. If you liked what you saw, be sure and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to be a part of the supportive group of women here at True Stature, subscribe below and become a member of the community. We love to have you. We need women like you. And I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.